Hello, this is Craig Anderson, librarian in real life, coming to you once again from Kean University Library in lovely Union, New Jersey. I feel that my last blog entry was a little bit depressing. I had just gotten back from a conference and discovered that all of the new and emerging technologies that I feature on this video blog are kind of old and outdated. So I'm going to try and make this episode a little bit more fun, and I'm going to feature one of those old and outdated technologies. In particular, this one is Twitter. Yes, I'm using the same exact card that I used the last episode. Try and live with it. Now, I have no doubt that many of you know what Twitter is. Many of you are in Twitter or on Twitter. Many of you have me friended on Twitter. So you could probably just skip this episode and lose absolutely nothing for it. For the rest of you, I'm going to explore what Twitter is and tell how it might be useful for you and your library. Twitter, as anyone will tell you, is a micro-blogging tool, which is just like regular blogging, only smaller. And you know what a blog is. A blog is, well, this is a blog here. And in these blog entries, I kind of explore new and innovative technologies, or at least I try to. And it gives me a lot of space where I can write a fully formed blog entry, and I can make it as articulate and comprehensive as I like. I can ramble for days on any given topic. But with Twitter, with microblogging, it's a little bit more quick and dirty than that. You only have 140 characters, 140 characters because that's what most cell phones will take easily, to say whatever's on your mind right then and there. In fact, I can Twitter right now what's on my mind. And I can Twitter that I'm actually giving a vlog entry. How recursive. Okay. So now those of you on my Twitter feed will see that, or actually you probably have seen it already before this video posted. So a lot of you might be wondering, what exactly is this good for? Why does anybody need to know what I'm doing from hour to hour to minute? And the truth is they don't. It depends on what you tweet about. Some people, tweet, I'm eating a sandwich right now, or, I'm doing my homework. These kind of things are a little bit uninteresting. But some people have these well-developed Twitter feeds where they talk about, philosophical things or what's going on in the world and things like that. But the virtue of Twitter that I found, and this is especially popular with the young people because young people all have cell phones and they communicate exclusively on cell phones, is that what Twitter does is it almost forms like a hive mind, for lack of a better term. Which sounds really creepy, and it is. But just to give you an example, I was at a conference about a year ago where everybody was trying to figure out where we were going out for dinner, and somebody noted that there was a really good tapas place just down the street from the hotel that the conference was being hosted at. And by the time we got to this restaurant, the place was just filled with conference goers because everybody else was on everybody else's Twitter feed. So it enabled us to communicate with each other without texting every single person or calling up every person on the phone and telling them, hey, we're meeting at the tapas place in an hour. So that's what it's kind of done for the younger generation especially, and increasingly the older generation. Everybody knows what everybody else is doing, and it doesn't have to be, you don't have to, update your Twitter feed every time you change your socks and let everybody know that that's what's going on. Although some people do that just for the ironic sense of letting people know that they have clean socks. But one of the phenomena that's kind of grown out of Twitter, well, out of a bunch of different Web 2.0 technologies, but especially Twitter, is the concept of a flash mob. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with flash mobs, a flash mob is where a group of people get together and do something strange and unusual. Like, for example, decide to have a pillow fight in downtown Vancouver. And this is just the kind of thing where a bunch of people got together and decided they were going to have a pillow fight, and they put it on their Twitter feed. Some of them blogged about it, and at the appointed date and time, everybody got together, brought a pillow, and just started having a big old pillow fight, which is wonderful, I think. Possibly a little non-constructive, but nonetheless wonderful. Another thing that people have found that Twitter is useful for is as a search engine. Right now, one of the big news items today, and it's probably not going to last too much longer than today, are these things called tea parties. A lot of people are protesting their, supposed high taxes, so they're gathering together and having tea parties. And if you go to Twitter and type in # Tea Party, you'll see, let me do this like this. There we go. You'll see all these people that are twittering about tea parties. So you can do kind of a search to let you know what the word on the street is, what people are thinking about topics in general. You can search for any topic on Twitter. It's not even as reliable as Google. Google just tried to buy Twitter recently. That's an interesting news item in itself. It's not reliable, but it is good at finding out what people are thinking in the country or even the world. It's very good for doing searches on consumer information. If there's a product that you want to buy and you want to find out what other people think about it, search for it on Twitter, and somebody's got to have some opinion on this new product that they bought, and especially if they hated the product, they're definitely going to Twitter about that to let other people know, that they didn't like it and not to buy it. You can also, I did say that I was going to tell you how to use Twitter for your library feed. If you make up a library Twitter account, you can just get the word out there about various news and events about your library. A lot of your patrons, especially the younger set, are not necessarily going to want to know everything that's going on in your library, but just having this on their Twitter feed is going to make your library more aware, make them more aware that your library exists, and that's kind of what we're trying to do here. So I'd like to know what you guys think. If you have any other ideas of creative and useful ways to use Twitter, you can write to me at cjanders@kane.edu, or you can find me on Twitter, if you haven't already, www.twitter.com/libraryguy. And as usual, you can always comment down in the comments down there. So that's all I have for you now, and have a good night. Peace out.